Hi, I'm Virginia from Right Clinic and I've been a medical writer and content creator since 2020. So in this video, I'll be answering this question, which someone left in a comment, which was perhaps you can share tips on how to leverage our LinkedIn to enhance a beginner's medical writing journey. So they mentioned Twitter, but I'm just not a Twitter user. So LinkedIn is where I spend 90% of my social media time. The other 10% is YouTube. So I've prepared 5 top tips for how to leverage LinkedIn if you're a beginner medical writer, and I've written them here. So let's get started. So the first thing is your profile page. So I'm just going to share my profile page and I'm just going to talk through a few things. So the first thing is your picture. You need to make sure you have a as professional as possible looking picture so people can see what you're like, and you can also add a bit of personality. So I don't usually wear star-shaped earrings, but I thought I'm a creative person and I want to show that in some way. And when I have a nice pink glowing background, because that's not something you see every day, and it just makes me stand out a little bit. So make sure it's a high quality photo and it's a photo that you've taken recently. And I mean within the past 1 or 2 years, not something from 10 years ago, if you can. The other thing is it has to be your real name. And then if you have a credential, so a certificate that you've earned, so I've got a Master of Pharmacy degree. And so I put that at the end of my name. And then also your headline is super important. So here I've got a whole bunch of stuff. So I've got things like easy to understand health information videos, and the founder of the International Medical Writing Association, Right Clinic, Medical Writer Magazine, and Medical Writer Uncut podcast, and also Pharmacist Virginia, NHS.UK Evidence Checker, and also I've got a PIF tick, and I am the host of the Health Creators podcast. And VVS is for Virginia's Video School. That's coming later this year. So the other thing I would say is really important is your banner. So if there are any really great companies you've worked for or you've had clients in the past, then definitely include them in your banner. And if you've created your own company, then include your own logos as well. Super, super important. And the other 2 things on your profile page that you should include is definitely your about section. So write who you are, what you do, and how you got into it. So I've got a little story of how I got into it here and the kind of services that I offer and people that I've worked with. And then you should have ideally a services section. So you can see all of the services that I offer, and you can also see if anyone has left any reviews. So I've got some nice reviews here from people that I've helped learn how to create health information videos. So if you want to learn more about your LinkedIn profile page and you want someone to have a look at it, then I'd be more than happy to have a look at it if you sign up to the course in the link in the description. So the second thing is what you should post on LinkedIn. So posting on LinkedIn is really easy if you know what to post about. So it's a professional platform. Keep that in mind. And so I've listed 5 things here that you can post about. So the first thing is something that you've learned recently. And this could be something that you've learned either through reading a book or reading a certain resource, and always link back to that resource. You could also say if you've learned it from a specific person, so maybe someone else that you follow on LinkedIn that knows a lot about something. And the second thing you can post about is how you work. So some people like to outline, for example, a typical day in their life. So if you're a beginner medical writer and you are trying to get into freelancing, you can say, well, I start my day by going to the gym, doing something active. And then when I get to my desk, I start on my work. I start doing the research and then the writing, and then I answer some emails. I get someone to review my work, and then I action the feedback. And then I wrap up my day after having lunch, and then I will try to spend the rest of the day looking for clients. That would be like a typical day for me. And then you can also detail what type of clients you're looking to work with. So people want to know what you do and how you do it. The third kind of post you can do is achievements. So everybody loves celebrating your success. So if you hit a milestone, let's say you've got 100 followers, or you've got 1,000 followers, or you have just graduated, or you've just completed a certificate in a mini course, or you've just finished reading a book, those are all really good things that you can talk about. And you can celebrate other people's achievements as well. And if you are thinking about doing an achievement post, then it would be nice if you go onto Canva and then just click on Instagram post where you get a nice square, and you can just design something really quick to say, really grateful or thank you so much for 1,000 followers, and you can put a picture of yourself. And this is just something that's a little bit more visual and eye-catching when people are scrolling on LinkedIn. The fourth type of post that you can create is having some kind of testimonial from a client. So if you've done really good work for someone, then you should celebrate yourself and say, I recently did this project. And it's like a little case study, a little success story of something that you have achieved recently, and people can see that the work that you do has impact. Another thing that you could write about is a personal achievement. So, for example, you could say that you climbed a mountain recently, or you recently started going running regularly, or you recently started to go to the nearest homeless shelter and start serving food to people who are less fortunate and things like that. So it gives you more personality, and it gets people to know what you do outside of your little work bubble. So the next thing that I would recommend, so tip number 3, is joining groups. So having a networking community. So we've got a group with 10,800 members in it now on LinkedIn, and you can join that. I'll put that in the description box below. It's a free group on LinkedIn. It always has been, and it's been going on since November 2021. So just over 3 years, going into the 4th year now. And it's great to network with people in a group because you know that they're already interested in what you're interested in. And if you network with other medical writers, then if they have any work that they can't do because maybe they have too much work at the moment, then they might offer it to you. But you need to have that conversation first and say, hey, I'd like to learn more about what you're doing and what kind of things you do. And then they might get a client that needs certain work, but they might not have capacity, and they'll offer it to you. And that's happened to me a few times, which is great. So definitely, please build relationships with people. Do not just start asking for work straight away. The next tip I've got for you is to comment on posts as well. So part of building community is to actually interact with people in public. So people want to see how you respond to certain things, and they'll also look at the kind of things that you like and the kind of things that you repost. So whenever you comment on someone's post, then make sure that it's something thoughtful, and do not start any arguments or say anything negative because that can always make you look like someone who starts arguments and things like that. And you do not want to come across that way if that's not what your true nature is. So tip number 4 is connection requests. So whenever you find someone that you really want to become connected with and start to build a relationship with, you should always connect with them on their profile and always add a note. So the note could be something like, I really enjoyed your recent post about, cardiomyopathy, and I am really interested in medical writing for, cardiology type conditions. And then you can connect with that person, and you could do like an information interview with them and find out more about how they got into cardiology, medical writing, and that kind of things. So it's always good to send connection requests. And tip number 5 is to curate your feed. If you spend a lot of time on LinkedIn and you're going to be spending time connecting with people and networking, then you need to make sure that the posts that are showing up on your feed when you're scrolling through LinkedIn are actually things that you want to see and will provide you opportunities in future. So here are a few things that I would recommend you do to curate your feed. So anytime you see something you don't like, then press the 3 little dots in the top of that post and say that you are not interested in that. And you can unfollow that person or disconnect with them. And even things that people like, which might be with someone you're not connected with, if you don't like that, then make sure you click the 3 dots and say you don't like it. And you want to follow recruiters, publishers, editors, any companies that you want to work for, people who work in SEO, which is search engine optimization, any journalists, and also fellow writers or people who talk about medical writing. And if you follow company pages, then whenever they post a job, you'll be the first to see it because it should come up on your feed, and that's how you can get work from them. So if you go to the company page, you can also look at the people tab and have a look at anyone there that works in communications or marketing or writing or research or project management, and you can connect with them and tell them that you're available as a freelance medical writer, for example, or if you want to find a job, then you can let them know. Or if they have an in-house recruiter, then you can let them know that you might be looking for a job soon. And they like to always make sure they've got people on their radar in case somebody leaves the company or they need to let somebody go. Then an in-house recruiter is great to connect with because they know that you will be available if they need you. So try to only send people your CV if you have built that relationship with them, and also try to post about your work. So it's a good idea to spend some time looking at your profile and thinking about what you want to post. And if you want to learn more about LinkedIn and you want me to have a look at your profile and how you can make LinkedIn work for you, then check out the course at the link in the video description under this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.